Welcome to another episode of the Course Creation Incubator. I'm Gina Anativia, your host and coach, here to help you get your course done and out to market and help you build the course-based business of your dreams. I just got back from Bo Eason's Story to Stage event. All right, actually, it's his wife's event. It's Dawn Eason's event. And speaker Colleen Houck is there too. And it's a day of learning how to take your story and translate it to workshops and other stages and really build up your speaking business. I was teaching how to market yourself and build up a profitable digital blueprint. And we do it twice a year. And it's one of my favorite events because I get to spend the day with these incredible women. We feed off each other. Ideas are popping. It's an absolute blast. And it's a great opportunity for me to try out new stories and new content to see what lands. I'm always trying out different stories and following Dawn's advice. I'll link to her episode inside of the show notes where we talk about how to show up on camera, but also the power of sharing your personal story. And during the event, I got to chat with one of my accelerator students, Tracy, who teaches moms how to meal prep, really entrepreneurial moms. I'm really proud of Tracy. She's taken what I've taught her and is about to release a subscription and a course. And we've talked about how she's really had to focus in to get things done because there's always something catching her eye, and she calls them the squirrels. Because when you're building your course, there is inevitably shiny object syndrome. There's lots of moving pieces, and sometimes opportunities or other things come up where you think, oh, do I want to take advantage of this? Meanwhile, it's not part of your core plan. It's not part of what you originally intended. It's a squirrel running outside that you want to chase. This is Tracy said it. She coined it a squirrel because that's what her partner used to say to her. Oh, Tracy's chasing another squirrel. The great thing is Tracy has built up her team now where they can say to her, stop running to that squirrel and focus. So I thought I would record an episode about what to do when you've got a lot of different squirrels running around your backyard. And when I mean squirrels, I mean, you see other people doing podcasts and you're thinking, well, should I be doing a podcast? Or you see other people riding on a new social bandwagon and you think, I'm going to do that too. But is it a good opportunity for you, or is it a squirrel? Is it the right decision? Because just because everybody else is doing it, or it feels like they are, doesn't mean you should be doing it. Here's an example. I just did a spotlight on Pinterest a couple of episodes ago. It was so good with Megan Williamson. I'll link to it in the show notes. And right after it, I say to Becky, my online business manager, hey, maybe we should get onto the Pinterest bandwagon. Becky's so great about this stuff, guys, because when I bring up squirrels, she always goes, she's very polite. Okay, Gina, that can be a Q3 focus. What she's trying to say, but she's too polite to say it is, Gina, that's not our focus right now. That's not on the 3 to 6 month plan, but I want to humor you right now and I don't want to shoot you down. So she doesn't have to be that polite. When students or clients come to me and they're chasing squirrels, I'm never that polite. And I've got a 7-step system now that I use anytime an opportunity comes up so I can make a decision whether I'm chasing a squirrel or it's a really valuable opportunity for my business. I found it in one of my favorite books right now. It's called The Gap and the Gain by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. I adore Dr. Benjamin Hardy's work. I have notes all over his book, Willpower Doesn't Work. He does fantastic research. He makes content really come alive and make it actionable. And in this book, Dr. Hardy takes the best of what Dan Sullivan wanted to say, his content, and makes it tangible for you. So I'll link to that book in the show notes, The Gap and the Gain. This 7-step question process is just one tidbit that I got out of this book. I can't recommend it enough. So in this episode, I'm going to walk through this process. Now, I didn't take it word from word for the book. I tweaked it a little bit. I kind of put my own twist on it, but I thought it might be helpful for you the next time you're vetting a decision, a tough decision. Question number 1 is, does it align with your values? Is it congruent with who you are and where you want to take your business and what you believe personally? I think this is a great question because opportunities do come up that might not be really congruent with who you are. So, for example, if it's a show or podcast you can get booked on. So, when I am vetting podcasts, I'm looking at, are they transparent, raw, authentic? I want to make sure they keep it real. I also want to make sure they're not overly salesy and they're delivering. Because some of the podcasts that I've looked at, and I'm sure you guys have found these too, are just promotional vehicles. So same thing, like if I'm thinking about hiring or investing in someone, I want to know they're congruent with my values. I'm always checking, are we aligned? So that's number one. Does it align with your values? Number two, does it take advantage of your unique ability? Now, you're thinking about your secret sauce, you're putting your course out there that you have a special system that you use. Would this opportunity take advantage of that system? Or is it kind of taking advantage of the old you or in the vein of the old you? Like, I'll give you an example. I used to do a lot of content development work, especially because I used to work for Tony Robbins, and that's what I did for Tony along with products. Now, I did a lot of content development after I work for Tony. I don't do as much of that anymore because I've shifted into digital strategy and marketing. So I want to make sure that I'm taking advantage of me as a digital strategist versus just content development. So think about your unique secret sauce and if it's taking advantage of that. Question number three, does it make you even stronger? To me, this question is about growth. It's about, does the opportunity challenge you? Does it take you out of your comfort zone? I know people who are completely driven by growth and contribution. My friend Mark Figueroa is one. He always is thinking about, am I growing through this? Am I challenging myself? Does it make me grow as a person? And if Mark's not feeling challenged, then he won't accept the opportunity. So I want you thinking about that with this question, because I know you can take on projects that fulfill your sweet spot and fill that bucket of safety and comfort, but is that really going to grow your business? Is that going to challenge you and drive you to where you want to go? All right, the fourth question, how will this benefit mankind? How does this help you serve? I'm trying to serve my course creators and entrepreneurs every day. So I think through when I'm vetting an opportunity, does this really benefit them? Does this get the message out? Is this going to add value? Is this going to get the end game, which is I want them to get across the finish line always? And if it isn't going to help them get across the finish line, then maybe it's not the right opportunity. Or when I'm thinking about a decision or an opportunity, I also look at, will this be able to broaden my reach? Maybe I can help more students or different kinds of students. So think through that as well. Is this going to help you serve mankind? Number 5, does this make sense financially? This is a great one because sometimes you have to put money on the line for something, for a decision. Maybe you're investing in a great writer. I had a Done For You student who was hitting me up because she was trying out 2 different writers for a significant writing package. And she said to me, this is a big investment. It's a higher tier writer. And I read through both proposals and I think, well, they're fantastic. They did their research. They really added value to you. And I said, this is appropriate for where you are in your business, this writing package. Now, if she was just starting out and she didn't have her course out yet and she wasn't building up her course-based business, I would have said like, not yet. But she's been selling courses for a couple of years now. It's appropriate for a business. It's a good investment. It makes sense financially because of where she is. So you want to think through that. What's appropriate for your business? If it's an investment of money, does it make sense? Or if it's an opportunity for you, does it make sense for your time? Do you have to do a lot of research? Do you have to do a lot of calls? Is it something that you really have to dig into? Then it might not be worth it for you. Think through, does it make sense financially? The 6th question is it a standalone or a one-off or a gateway opportunity? So I don't like one-offs. I'm a relationship builder. I want to make sure that I'm nurturing something for the long term. That's always in my mind. It's always top of mind. And I'm thinking through when I accept an opportunity or I make a decision, what's the next step in this? Where does this journey or relationship lead next? So if you're going to take on this project or this opportunity or hire someone, then what could it lead to? Write that down. And how are you going to seed leading to the next step? For example, sometimes I'll go on Instagram Live, I'll do a talk, and then hopefully it's going to lead to a podcast opportunity or I'm going to do a workshop. Because I know that by adding value and serving people, it's likely going to lead to other things. So that oftentimes makes it worth it. Then the seventh and final question, maybe the most important one, is if you say yes to this, what will you say no to? If you say yes to this, what will you say no to? And I am horrible at this, guys. Horrible about saying no to other things. And I should not be yelling because my husband's going to hear me and he's going to be laughing at me right now because he knows I'm terrible at this. So I need to get better at it and say no to things, especially if I'm accepting other opportunities or saying yes to other decisions. Because if you're listening right now, so many of you are hustling. You have day jobs or you're coaches or you're consultants. You have other things that you're doing. And making time for your course is huge and it's important. So if you're saying yes to an opportunity, then that works and you vetted with these other 6 questions, then fantastic. I want to support you. But I also want you saying no to something else. So as squirrel, say no to the squirrels so you can leave time for the opportunities that make sense. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed this system. It's helpful. Pick up the gap in the gain. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Maybe I'll do a couple of other episodes on it. Write me a note if you've been using this system and it helped you make a decision. I've been trying out these questions for a few months now and they've been super helpful. All right, I'll be with you next week for more on course creation and marketing. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss one tidbit. And until next week, go create, be you and be brilliant, and get it done.